and welcome once again to the Forward Compatible Podcast. This is episode 93, part 2.
Bryan's leaving.
For November 17th, 2013. My name's Tony. I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters, Bryan, Mark, and Jason.
It's still Hat Day!
Hat Day!
Hat day.
Hat Day!
Hat Day!
Spaghetti
The
Tuesdays.
best commercial of all time.
Spaghetti Tuesdays.
Guess what day it is?
Hump Day!
Guess what day it is? Mike.
That's the worst.
Every Wednesday
I
we're
love
doing it
that
at work.
commercial,
I
dude.
love the shit
I
out of
I
that commercial.
don't know sports balls, but the commercial where the basketball player, is it Manute Bol knocking stuff out of people's hands?
Not in my house.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Mutombo, yeah.
Yeah, the Kempe Mutombo. Yeah.
This, of course, is part 2. If you have yet to do so, please pause the video, click out, do it later. It doesn't really matter for part 1, where we do cover the week's news as well as answer the viewers' burning questions. But this is part 2, where we cover Jason's topic of the week.
I told you there wasn't going to be a jingle.
Because
Because right now, the video's going to... Watch
be
this. Magic.
And unmagic.
Yeah. So that would have been where the intro played that we made, showcasing the lovely, lovely PlayStation 4,
Yes.
which we can finally now talk about. Go ahead, Mark. PlayStation 4. No.
I'm gonna start throwing shit.
So I'm gonna
Hold me back!
I'm gonna throw
Breathe.
I'm gonna throw the topic of the week to Jason this week, since he's the only one that did not purchase a PS4 yet.
Bum, bum, bum.
So he's going to kind of go ahead. You let everybody know what you're gonna do.
Basically, the way that this is going to work is we are going to have probably our first ever forward compatible panel. I'm going to moderate the panel. We're going to ask you guys some questions, get some feedback, and generally kind of get an overall review in progress of what you guys have experienced this past weekend.
Alright, so first off, I'd like to bring in the motion.
No,
Can we
it
have a
doesn't start with
whorehouse
you.
on the...
No, you're not spoiling anything this time. Because I'm in complete control.
You heard what I was saying,
I am in
right?
complete control. I will completely cut Mark out of this if he does anything like
I
that.
was asking for a whorehouse.
No.
I like horse.
Okay, so we're
There
gonna
you
kick
go.
it off with launch day midnight events.
Launch day?
So we're gonna start Thursday night at about 9 p.m. Our time. Sony kicked off their launch event, which was hosted on Spike TV. Did anybody get to see this?
I was working, so I missed it.
Okay.
I was working the launch
Yes.
event for PS4, but I heard about it all afterwards.
Okay.
But go ahead. If any of you guys saw it, go ahead. I mean,
I was reading some updates because I was actually on my way to work, so I was getting some updates as it was happening. I didn't get to watch it, but we're gonna jump in and
it was terrible timing. Why'd they do it then?
yeah,
like a
late
few
at-
hours before your launch. Like what the fuck?
Like right whenever
Where you would be in line, yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, realistically, also too, it was they were on the East Coast in New York, which is where it was from, So that was an hour ahead. It was already 10 o'clock. Anybody that was going to go out and get the systems at midnight from wherever you were going,
You were out already.
You were already either
Yeah.
out the door. And this event probably I think was
Playing
like
it.
about an hour. So who the hell's gonna sit there and watch Sony's event and then rush out the door to get the system? That's not how that works. But anyways, regardless of the bad timing with it, they did have some pretty big announcements that they went through at the
They
event.
announced?
That they announced. Yes, thank
They
you.
had some big announcements that they announced.
Yeah, it was good.
Hey, I did
Tony?
something like
Very
that.
good, Tony.
Amazon launches the
We're
PS
gonna
Pen
start it
app
off
on Amazon.
with the one that we probably care about the least. That is Metal Gear Solid 5 has an exclusive level for the PlayStation 4 version of the game.
I'm really starting to dislike this. I was always against the add-ons, like pre-order
The
bonuses. But pre-order bonuses were small and insignificant. It still bothered me. It's like, that's not fair. Like, what if I wanted both those things? I'm not going to pre-order it from Best Buy and GameStop because I want both pre-order. That's fucking stupid. And then lately they started this, I believe, with Assassin's Creed 3 was the first big game that did this where they got a full. No, it might have been Brotherhood.
I believe it
It
was
was one of the Assassin's Creeds and then Batman.
Yeah.
That the PS3 got a full hour extra of content over the
You got Benedict
360
Arnold.
version.
What it was? Does anybody know what?
Well,
that
Arkham Asylum
actual,
had that Joker stuff.
Yeah, but does anybody know what the actual MSG or MG, MSG
Metal Gear Solid?
Metal Gear Solid 5 content was? Did anybody
It's
hear
a,
about
it's
this?
a retro version of Metal Gear where you play as
It's a
PS1 style
flashback
Snake.
sequence. Okay, with where Snake looks like his PS1 version of
yeah.
himself, so he looks horrible. It's not like that was an artistic choice. That was the limitations of the system.
Mhm.
But it's a flashback
Throwback.
to events that take place in Metal Gear Solid. But it's kind of weird because Metal Gear Solid 5 is a prequel to Metal Gear.
Yeah, the story of Metal Gear, if you try to follow, you'll just break your brain
yeah.
and give yourself an aneurysm.
So
They Japanesed it.
yeah,
Oh, it is Japanese.
any opinions or
It
views
means they
on
swatch the story. It makes no sense anymore.
flashback chapter exclusive to PlayStation 4? Does that sell you on the game any more than it may have already?
It doesn't sell me on the game. I would be getting it anyway.
Yeah, I'm probably going to grab this anyway, and I was probably going to grab it on PlayStation anyway
Yeah.
because it's a PlayStation title.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're available on the Xbox now, but it's the same,
Yeah, it's not a draw for me.
I noticed them starting to, notice that American stealth games are good, and they're starting to adapt to, being better at stealth. I saw that.
Isn't Snake not even Snake anymore?
No,
Big
it's not.
Boss.
No, it's
which is the
so messed up.
previous Snake.
Yeah,
from
and
Metal
it's
Gear
not
Solid
even
3.
David Hayter, and
That's
he's
what
not
I'm
even
talking about.
he's not even doing the voice of the flashback character.
It's not Snake.
But-
Sutherland either way, really. It's
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland
It's
doing the voice.
Kiefer Sutherland doing the voice. But Hayter has said that he's doing something in Metal Gear. He's in
Yeah.
it, but regardless,
I think they said the main character is going to be Big Boss, not Snake.
Yeah.
And Big Boss is technically Snake's father.
Well, Snake is a clone.
They Japanesed it.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
Key point right there. Where the fuck you guys just talking about?
yeah. We'll move on to the
They
next
have terrible
big
writing staff over there. Jesus Christ. Holy shit.
The next big point was Destiny beta was announced to launch first on Sony.
That works for me.
So that's not a problem first, but it's coming to the other console. That I'm okay with.
Is that
I don't like parts of games missing on the other consoles, though.
yeah? Does that sell you on Destiny any more than it might have already?
I'm already getting Destiny.
No, I was already getting it.
And
Does
I'm-
it, does
and
it help you
that-
decide what system that you're going to get?
Yeah,
on?
it does.
Yes.
I'm still getting that on Xbox. It's still Bungie.
Okay.
For the exact same, that's the reverse
Even
of
with
my
the
Metal Gear
content?
Solid. It's the same thing.
Even with the content that's
I don't care.
exclusive to...
Bungie's a better developer on Microsoft's platforms. It's gonna be.
Could
It's
be.
gonna run better
Could be.
on there.
We'll see.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the Mac version since Bungie was originally a Mac
Get the fuck
developer.
out of here! Get the fuck out of
I
here!
mean, yeah,
Marathon,
Technically-
anyone?
yeah. Were they originally developed for Mac and PlayStation?
Yes.
Yeah.
PlayStation 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oni.
True story.
Oni.
True
Yeah.
story.
I have it reserved, but I don't know. I'm not big on first-person shooters, so there's a good chance I'll skip out on it.
Okay. I have no idea how Tony did not just at least blurt this out during part one.
'Cause he said to wait.
He's been a very good boy, and we get to talk about something that I think is going to
He
excite
blurted.
him.
He blurted all over
extremely.
my page.
Excite him extremely.
Right there.
The other final big piece of news from the Sony launch
Only good news of the week.
event was an Uncharted 4 teaser.
Celebrate
You can
good time. Come
You
on.
can throw all this. Throw it. Throw it.
Yeah.
Don't go too far. Just give some initial reactions to it because I want to.
How far can you go?
They have nothing done.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now.
There's
Nothing is done.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of
It doesn't say. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
a couple of big name game sites out there have broken down the trailer, and there's speculation and rumor that it will not star Nate Drake.
No, that's retarded, and they don't know what they're talking about. I will put Andrew Dillon. Mark this. This game stars Nathan Drake. Uncharted is Nathan Drake. If you do not put him in the game, the thing won't move anything.
I second
what if
that.
it stars Sully pre-Nathan?
No, it's not going to happen. I assure you. The thing is, can I talk about it now?
Go right ahead.
Okay.
That's what I wanted.
This is my guess. Okay, this is somebody who was a treasure hunter or something of the sort with Nathan Drake back in the day. Okay.
Do you have the actual the little dialogue that it played out?
No,
I don't.
know. They got in some trouble, and the guy who's doing the voiceover got arrested because there's key points that are like, oh, for 15 years I've been getting screwed over or whatever, or had to wait or whatever. So they used to be buddies, if you ask me. And this guy got caught, and Drake went away. And then you enter Uncharted 1, Drake's Fortune, okay? Now it's been roughly 10, 12 years. They can put it 3 or 4 years in the future. And you have Uncharted 4. And this guy's getting out of prison now. And he will be the new bad guy.
Okay. So like somebody from his past coming back to
Yes, that's what this
to
is.
haunt him.
This is
essentially.
not a Nathan Drake is not in
Keep
this
going.
game. That is
I'm gonna actually pull up the text from the.
that is fucking ludicrous. The reason Nolan North was not doing the voiceover for this trailer is because he's working on another game, and like I just said, they didn't even start this game yet. Nothing fucking happened. They're still on the drawing board. You're lucky if this will be out before 2015.
Also, I mean, if they would have.
They're still wrapping up Last of Us. They didn't start
But
the
don't
game.
they have 2 teams at Naughty Dog now?
They do.
So couldn't the team have started some kind? They may not have gotten far enough to record a script yet, but couldn't they have
It's
gone-
not even
yeah.
named.
But
They
here's
don't know
the-
if they're calling it Uncharted 4. It doesn't have that little because every game, every Uncharted game has its
Subtitle.
Yeah, so it's like Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, Uncharted 2, Among Thieves, so on and so forth. The four, it just said
we go.
Uncharted.
Oh, okay.
There's no Uncharted 4. There's no sub name. There's no.
And also,
And the chick who plays Elena is just giving birth, so there's no way she was doing voice work the last few months because she just had a kid. That's what I'm saying. Like they seriously didn't even start this
and
thing yet.
from a teaser perspective, you kind of take away some of that suspense if you did have Nate Drake, even if it was just one line, do a voiceover for it. It does add an air of suspense to it to kind of give you, to drum up some interest about it. Here's the actual lines that were spoken during the teaser. It says, "Some chains can never be broken. I lost 15 years, buried alive, erased. You left me rotting in that hellhole and never looked back. But you can't outrun the past. And when it catches up, when all your lies collapse around you, I'll be there sifting through the wreckage. You owe me." So I think Tony's pretty accurate about it.
They do too.
Anybody else have any interpretations of what that could be?
And it's probably happened because when you beat the Vita Uncharted,
Golden Abyss?
yeah, I don't think that because Sony Bend wrote that, so it has nothing to do with Naughty Dog, but they signed off on everything. But obviously, like that game doesn't have to apply. If Naughty Dog wants, they could totally rewrite the beginning. But when you beat Golden Abyss on Crushing, you get a different cutscene at the end, which perfectly leads into the way Drake's Fortune starts.
I mean, just because there's a prequel doesn't mean that that's the beginning either.
Yeah. Well, I would like to think that this happened a couple years before Drake's Fortune, but the couple years, like the immediate few weeks beforehand was Golden Abyss, and it was kind of cool how they tied it all in.
I was thinking, if I can, my perspective on it, without spoiling anything. So Brian, you may want.
Did
to
you beat 3 yet?
No, I haven't played
Okay,
since last week.
you may want to cover yours for a second. Considering that he's from an orphanage, maybe this is somebody from the orphanage with him.
That's sneaky too.
Okay, Brian, you're good. Wouldn't that be?
Guess what I just remembered?
Earmuffs.
In part 1, I never raised my hand. When we were done with the
Told him to come back.
spoilers.
They told him to come back after the spoilers. But yeah, that would be my take on it. So again, sorry, I don't want to spoil anything for you because there's a plot point there. Anything else that we want to touch on from the Sony event or Uncharted?
Yeah, I think this.
Tony's good.
It's pretty good, Tony.
That's
It's
pretty
pretty good. I think this is a ways away. It might be ready by holiday next year, but I severely doubt it because you know what? Maybe they are doing all the, but don't they use mocap there? I was gonna say maybe they're designing everything, and then they'll just have those characters come in for the last month to do the voiceovers.
Mm-hmm.
But they mocap them. They're in full. They do everything.
But that, I mean, that can be done toward the end. I mean, they can do all the other stuff. They can build the levels,
Backgrounds.
That's a lot of work still.
Huh?
That's a ton
The
of work
mocap is
still.
a lot of work, so it can be done in like a month. But
Yeah.
you could do everything else and do the mocap afterward.
They could.
So
I mean,
maybe 2014, but at holiday. But I think this is a long way away.
do you think we'll see maybe a first little video teaser at like E3 or something?
It's a possibility. Maybe you'll finally get a legit trailer.
And then
Yeah.
like coming 2015, whatever, holiday.
I mean, they could always do temporary mocap and then just alter it later on if they had to.
I mean, realistically,
Yeah, that'd be an easier way.
with the exception of the cutscenes, we're just talking about. I mean, I understand they do the mocap, but anybody can be a third-person character and do those actions, and then
You slam the other ones out.
exactly. So I mean, that is.
Well, you have
that's
to tweak it
possible.
afterward. You can't just
Yeah,
copy
no,
and
I
paste.
get it. I
but
get
yeah.
it. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move into.
And it's pirate themed.
Is that's your prediction? Okay.
Look at the. I think they got arrested somewhere like Somalia or whatever. Where's Somalia, right?
Well,
All the pirating that's going on,
yeah.
like in this day and age.
Yes.
Yeah, I bet it's over there. Because there's like, if you look at the trailer, that's like all this like piratey map in the background. That's what it's going on.
Army mateys.
So I wouldn't. Maybe that's where he is. He got put in
Assassin's
like.
Creed 4 tie-in?
No, definitely not.
No, I just got too much talent to.
Tony almost reached
Whoa!
over that. Tony almost reached over the table and slapped
Assassin's
you.
Creed snap.
I guarantee Naughty Dog in one try can make a better Assassin's Creed than Ubisoft in one try. I guarantee it.
You're gonna love the way you look. I guarantee it.
Men's Warehouse.
That's your house.
All right,
I
so
guarantee it.
we're gonna jump into the midnight events, and luckily the three of you had unique experiences. Tony,
did.
you were working. Brian, you were a customer at Tony's store, and then Mark, you were way out somewhere else.
I was at
Filming
my
with
store.
porn.
Yeah. So,
Fiddling with porn.
I said
first thing I
filming.
want to jump into
Fiddling.
is
Filming
your
porn.
overall individual experiences at the midnight event. Tony, I want you to go last since you worked. So we'll go to Brian, and then Mark, and then Tony.
Went to the store at like 7-ish,
Okay.
7:30. Paid. Well, I'd already had everything paid off. If I hadn't had it all paid off, I might have even skipped on the PS4 just because the game I really wanted at launch.
Not there.
We'll get
Yeah, yeah.
we'll get a little bit further. into
So
that.
I picked up. They forgot to give me my game, so I didn't get the
Let me be
game.
very clear. I was not
it
the
was
one that
not. It was
forgot.
not you. It was not Tony. Tony did not screw anything up.
I am a good employee.
Met up with a friend who I haven't seen in like a year at the prepay, and we ended up just going to hang out and coming back shortly before at like 11:30.
Bang
Okay.
one out. Got it.
No.
Little quick line jerk.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Came back, picked up our PS4s. There was a nice little line. It went pretty smoothly, all things considered.
Okay.
Nothing really crazy for the launch though. They're like, unless I missed stuff. Was there anything going on besides people hanging out and talking? Jay doesn't go for like the event stuff unless he like feels like it.
Doesn't go crazy like I did for
No.
my Gears.
We
and
don't
stuff.
do
Okay.
anything.
Paint the windows like we did for Batman. Remember
So
that?
much extra work. No, we don't do
Yeah.
anything.
Do you remember that though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
We're lazy at our
Waste.
store.
Yeah.
Mark,
Well, I
you had a whole day planned out. Like you scheduled.
well, I worked 12 hours. After that, we went to go get smoothies with my buddy Jim and Guillermo, who were both picking up their PlayStation. Well, Guillermo wasn't, but he came anyway. Got some smoothies. Went to Chili's. got a little, got
a little drink
some
on,
juice,
little drink.
yeah.
Some
And then
drinks.
walked into my GameStop I worked at for 6 years, and Jim.
But you no longer.
No longer, yeah. Jim, who was there a year or two before me, so both of us have been there for combined like 14, 15 years probably.
Completely irrelevant.
Completely irrelevant. So, well, no, I mean, it goes on to what I'm going to get to. So we walk in at 11 o'clock. We both finished paying off the thing. We're like 44th and 45th in line. And everyone gets kicked out at 11:30. So we were basically there for a half hour. But because it's been mine and his store for so long, we stayed in there until about 11:59. Walked outside, got in line, maybe 4 or 5 minutes passed. We got our console and we walked out. So we had a nice. It was cold. It was kind of cold that night.
It was a little brisk.
It was a little brisk out, but it was actually ridiculously hot in the
ruining my
store.
panel.
So I basically just went outside for a minute or two, chilled down, heated back up in the store, walked out and plugged it in when I got home.
Yeah, I had actually requested to work it. I actually asked my store manager if I could do this launch because I was not employed by GameStop when the last system was launched, and I will not be employed by GameStop when the next console's launched. So
I hope not.
it was
Yeah.
it was something I wanted to experience one time, just working it, because as stressful as they are, I actually always like doing midnights, and my manager always wants to put me on, so it works out really well. I like being there. It's like one of the few things that I actually like about that company is those events, the midnights. It's cool to be around with everybody who wants to get early access and dealing with everybody, and it's a lot of fun.
The vibes are usually pretty good because everyone's there for the same reason.
Yeah, but
for the most part, and somebody's picking up Barbie Horse Adventure, of course.
yeah.
You throw them under the bus.
It was really kind of slow and boring, to be honest, though. Like, I'm used to, big ass launches like Battlefield. We had 100 people. Call of Duty, we had 150, 200, something like that. And that's small for Call of Duty numbers. But it was bad this year, and I've done a ton of these midnights, and the PS4, not to the PS4's fault, there just weren't enough available. Like, our whole store was only given 70 or 80.
Not even. I obviously know. 60.
Whatever. Okay,
I'm
that matters at all to anybody. That I was off by 10 on my guess.
Well, if you go back, Tony was originally talking that the store had 100, 120 pre-orders months ago.
Okay. Anyway.
Andrew
I
Dillon.
don't know.
I know. I'm not trying to kill the
anyway.
vibe. Keep going.
Well, thanks for totally killing it, but I don't
Worst
even remember
panel
what the hell
ever.
I don't even know what the hell I was talking
Horrible.
about.
It's okay.
It was slow.
Yeah, that there wasn't a lot of systems available.
So the way it works is when you have a big game, 300 or 400 pre-orders, 100 will show up for the midnight because most people just don't care. So when you only have 60 PS4s pre-ordered, we were lucky to get 30 or 40 people. Most people would just go pick it up the next day. We actually had I think 40 something at the midnight, so it wasn't terrible. But there was only 40 people. It wasn't this big insane. I'm used to dealing with way bigger midnights. It really wasn't that.
It's not a Call of Duty or
where
a
you get 2 or 3
Gear,
people.
It just wasn't that big of a deal. It was kind of slow, kind of boring. We had everybody rung up. There was nothing to do. Just kind of standing around. And we had everybody out of there in 3-4 minutes.
Were you chatting up anybody
Yeah,
about
we were
what they were
talking, we
playing
were
and
goofing
stuff
around.
like that?
Yeah, we were screwing around. I was asking everybody what they were excited about, and because I was doing entertainment or what, I don't forgot the fuck I was doing.
Take your shirt off and your pants off. Got
Well,
it.
I was running around
Had a fake Sony tattoo on his
I had
chest.
to, keep talking to everybody about
Nate
stuff.
Drake.
Well, generally, from my experience when I've been to the midnights with you, is you usually are line control and things like that. You jump on a register when they need you, but
No, I'm always registered.
Grand Theft Auto, they had you.
I'm always registered.
You weren't.
This was the
registered,
first. I'm main register
Okay.
every midnight for Jay. This is the first one he didn't want me to do because the girl, our assistant manager, didn't he's just you just do that.
Okay.
This is the first one I wasn't on the register.
Okay. Well, I remember GTA. You were at the door.
Maybe
This
for
matters
10
so
minutes or something.
much.
I'm telling you, I'm always,
Okay.
always.
It's irrelevant. I'm just having a conversation. That's what this is about, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and we didn't need to know that you worked at the store for 14 years. Okay,
No,
thanks.
it was
true.
combined.
Completely irrelevant.
So I got special treatment and did not have to wait outside.
We're inside a mall. Nobody had to wait
Brian,
outside.
I know.
were you? I don't remember the time frame. Were you already gone when the 360 launched?
Yes.
Did you do any console launches previously? to
No,
that?
but I did do the first GameStop midnight launch ever.
Which was
Halo 2.
Really? That was the first.
Did I
'Cause
know
I
That
was
was
there
that
with that
bad? I would.
that I know of because I worked there
I
for
was
3 years
before
prior,
that.
and there were no
Okay.
midnights
No such
before
thing.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised because I was there with you for that.
Yeah.
For Halo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember who was there for the console, but I mean, like for our GT, or I'm sorry, for our 360 launch, we had a DJ and stuff like that. There was a little bit more of a vibe to it. So I was just like, did anybody have any like special? No, nothing. Just kind of come in, get your
Yep.
shit and leave.
Get your shit and leave.
Wow. Okay. That's always been like you were saying. That's always been a big aspect for me. Is kind of that
Experience.
event experience when you make it an individual experience.
Mine was rather boring. It was a pretty boring midnight.
Okay. The next thing that I'm
Right?
jumping into, obviously,
Mine
Yeah,
was,
I mean, it wasn't bad though. I mean, it was just
Nothing went badly.
Uneventful?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just
nothing
kind of whatever.
let's jump into and this is where I want you guys to talk a little bit more. What games and accessories that you picked up either prior to the midnight release or forgot at the midnight release?
Was not put in your bag at the midnight release.
yeah, exactly.
Hey, you got special delivery, so
See what happens when I don't work the register?
okay. So Mark, you
I
were
wasn't
the
the one that happened to.
you were
either,
the
by
first
way.
one to go out
Yeah.
for
games.
games.
Yes, I went out
You got them
Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning. Go ahead.
I walked into Target because they had that buy two get one sale going on. So I already knew I was picking up Assassin's Creed.
Which ends tomorrow.
Did they extend it?
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. So anyway, did that. I did Battlefield 4, which did I talk about the games as well, or just kind
Yeah,
of?
no. Go. I mean, don't go into like how they were or anything, but I just kind of want to know how you decided what you were picking up.
Okay.
And you know.
Assassin's Creed was my. They impressed me again, and it looked like Sid Meier's Pirates. So I was like, if it plays like Sid Meier's Pirates, I'm totally in.
After a year ago, when he swore up and down that he'd never play another Assassin's
Yeah, I
Creed
know.
again.
Fucking
I do it every year
I do
too.
it every year.
This is the first year I actually stuck to my guns.
This time I'm
So far,
I don't regret it as
I'll
much
pick it up when
though.
it's like $15-20, which
With-
it will be in a month.
With 3, I regret it almost instantly. I do not regret my purchase though.
okay.
It is a better one than the last 2.
Any extra accessories or?
I did not.
controller or
I thought about doing I look at the games I had and I was like, I don't have anything that has multiplayer on it, so I didn't really.
Madden, right?
Yeah, I got Madden, but I didn't expect anyone
Before-
to
yeah,
just to
before we
play
get-
Madden. That was my. I'm bored. I'm tired of shooting and jumping on shit.
So then you went out and picked your stuff up.
Mhm.
Sent a picture of your purchase.
I did.
At the register.
I did.
Okay, because you can see the little red
Yep.
Target
Yeah, I
credit
made
card
that
scanner.
specifically. Yeah.
And then apparently woke Tony up or something because he went out immediately
He
following.
did.
I was
He
like, oh
did.
shit, good idea. So I ran out to my Target and I got Killzone and Battlefield, and the only other game in stock was NBA or Call of Duty. So I got Call of Duty, which is still sealed. I think I'm gonna switch it for something else. I wanted to get something on the PS4 that was on the PS4, and I didn't want NBA. I don't think I'm keeping Call of Duty, though. I just grabbed it for the free game, and I'll exchange it for something at my convenience, a game that I actually do want. But I really did want Battlefield and Killzone, and I'm happy I got both those.
Okay.
The only one I've played so far is Killzone. I haven't had enough time, and I've been sick and busy.
I mean, realistically, we're like 2 days.
Yeah, it's
out,
only been
so,
like
I mean,
yeah,
and
72 hours
yeah,
almost.
yeah.
Depending on when you pick it up.
You didn't pick up any additional accessories or anything like that?
No, I don't want the camera. I might get it one day
I was the same way too.
for the streaming things because, like, once I get used to that, like, apparently you can use the microphone that's on the camera to pick up your voice, so you can talk over your.
Stream.
You
Yeah.
can actually do that with your headset also.
Oh, okay. So I know
Yeah,
that shit.
that of course immediately I read into the streaming stuff because that's for both systems. That's a huge appeal for me.
Yeah.
So I that's why I even sent you guys the setup articles. Like, here's how to do it. Go.
Yeah.
You know, Brian.
But I
Oh,
also
I'm sorry.
no, just the controller. I didn't see a need to get a second one because I haven't had a buddy come over to play video games in
That was my thing
in
too,
like
but-
5 years. There's no such thing as couch co-op anymore. So I will pick up a new DualShock 4 when my current DualShock 4 no longer functions properly. I just didn't see a point in picking up a
I was
second
gonna do
one.
for a sale or something.
I picked up one earlier, but that was to use on my computer, not to use with the PlayStation.
The DualShock 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought about
It's your turn, sir. So
My turn.
yeah.
So I picked up Knack with my PS4, and that was a huge waste.
We're gonna review.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you
It'd be
guys
like
break down
mainly most of the
for
games.
us
Yeah.
what
big
you
ones.
guys thought of the games. Just what did you initially you got Knack.
And I got rid of that and got Lego Marvel superheroes.
Okay.
I went over to Bryan's to play Knack. He's not lying. It's bad.
We're not
Yeah,
there
yeah,
just yet. So
I just want to say.
I just
Yeah.
want to, because I'm going to give you guys, I want you guys to
Yeah.
break down and review each of the games that you've played so far and everything. So, let's see where we're at. All right, so then you guys got your systems, got home, set them up. How'd that go?
Bad.
Just initial unboxing.
Oh, I was very very excited. Very excited.
The cardboard stayed together in all the right spots and opened in all the right spots.
Yeah, it did.
The plastic was everywhere it should be and nowhere it shouldn't have been.
Good review.
Overall,
A plus.
Overall, packaged.
Well, now, for instance, Mark, you still have your PS3, but you're going to be getting rid of it.
Yes.
Did you leave your HDMI cable and your power cable plugged in, and just going to send your PS4 ones with the PS3 that you're getting rid of, or?
Funny enough, what I did is I changed the power cord. Didn't change the HDMI because I didn't feel like reaching around the TV. But I do plan on changing the HDMI cord out because why not? I guess I don't know.
Because what?
I mean, they gave me a brand new one. I mean,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. To be honest, I besides holding the box, I know it comes with a controller and a power cable and some way to hook it up to the TV. I didn't know that they give you an HDMI
Yeah, they do.
cable in the box.
They don't give you the regular one.
Really?
You only have an HDMI.
Okay.
you're screwed if you do not have HDMI.
Do they sell
Who the
that
fuck
separate,
doesn't
or
have
can,
a-
do
No,
they
it does not have it does not have anything besides an HDMI port.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
But honestly, who doesn't?
exactly.
like-
Since we're speaking about HDMI, I don't think anyone experienced it, but there was some issues with the HDMI port
It was.
on the system. Anybody want to?
As far as I know, there was like a part of the metal was like up a little bit.
The-
So when you actually,
A tab was sticking up.
yeah, so when you actually placed it in, I believe you like effed up all of them.
You completely screwed up your HDMI cable.
That's
All
what
the
it
That's
was.
not
prongs
the
on the
port.
table, not the port itself.
Just the cable.
The cable
And then
itself.
because they were talking about you to push like it down first and then put it in.
Mhm. Yeah, they said just bend it the little piece down.
Yeah, stupid.
I'm glad that nobody had any issues like that. I don't think a damaged HDMI cable would have crippled you guys anyways. Everyone's
No.
probably got
Yeah.
spares. But we're into the actually setting up the system, and I know this is where we encountered some issues.
I'd like to go first in this one. Plugged it in, everything's good. Then I start looking around. I'm like, how the fuck do I turn this on? I'm like, where's the button? I'm like, because the first time set up, you can't hit the controller because
You just have to have it plugged in.
yeah, but that's eventually how I had to do it, and I had no idea.
You didn't see the power button?
No, it's not obvious.
I guess I knew where it was already from all the.
I didn't. See,
So much going on.
I had media blackout about that. I didn't look at how you turn it on the system. Right where the line is that I'm sure everyone has seen. There's a power button that's like
It's a small power button.
it's like the size of your nail.
Well, it's not really you don't press
But
it.
it's-
It's a touch sensitive thing, just like the PS3
See, I've been
was.
told it's actually a button, but it's so super sensitive that it actually does. That's what one of my buddies is claiming. I don't know how true that
Because
is.
the
I
original
haven't
PS3
looked
was
at
not
it.
a button; it just had a touch sensor, and if you just put your finger over it, it would turn on.
On the which one?
The original PS3.
Oh yes, yeah.
So I just assumed it was that.
Yeah, he says it's actually a button. I have not inspected enough to actually look because it's so small.
They don't
Okay.
show it in the teardown.
So Mark couldn't figure out how to turn the system on.
I didn't have that problem at all. Mine.
Yours powered up, but it just told you please wait.
Mine. Here's how mine went. I got home really late because we had to close the store down, and I had work in the morning.
About 2.
Yeah, and I had to get up for work like 3-4 hours later. So I'm like, oh joy. So, but I had that thing. I'm like, let me fucking do this. So I unboxed it, hooked it up to the TV, started right away. I don't know what everybody was talking about. Then I got through the update
The day one patch,
really
right.
fast. I was like, oh, the update. So I click accept. I went to pee. I came back. It was done. So I even made a joke to these guys on our little thingy. I'm like, it was like 30 seconds long. I don't know how long it was really, but it was short.
The long piss.
Okay, very well could have.
Then I come back. Then it's like, oh, do you want to connect to the internet? I'm like, yeah, let's do that. So we connect to the internet. Then it's like, do you want to log in with your account or your previous PSN ID? And yeah, let's do that. And it did all this stuff without a hitch. Then it started asking me all these weird things like, oh, you can link it with your name. Like it could say, Jerker's my PSN ID, or it could say Tony on it. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like, who do you want to say Tony to? And I'm like, just friends. Friends of friends, I think I selected. There's all these fucking questions during the setup. And then I'm done with all this. And it's like, okay, cool. And then it's like, please wait. And then it froze. And it just stayed on please wait for like 15, 20 minutes. I'm texting these guys. I'm like, something's wrong. So I actually shut it down and went to bed. Woke up in the morning. Most of it was done already. I just had to do like the last 2 or 3 screens again. And everything was fine. I haven't had a problem since.
Before we jump back to you, because I know you did you have any issues with your setup?
It was a
Or the
little
update?
slow, but it wasn't super bad. It was just like the first time I tried to log into PSN, I was like, haha, no. And I was like, no, haha, do it. And I did it. And
So
then,
you had one where it didn't want to connect.
well, but
and
then when it came time to do the other things like the Facebook integration and stuff like that, that was slow.
okay.
Oh, I didn't do any of that shit.
I did.
Like, you want to enter your Facebook? No, I don't
Yeah,
actually.
that was kind of slow. And I wound up, I think I canceled out and went back and did it, and it worked a second or third time I tried it.
Okay.
And like within 15 minutes, it was all done.
Okay.
I
Now,
had
Mark had
by
probably the
far
most problems.
The most problems with it. So turn it on.
He just sounded like I've never read a text and felt somebody's heartbreaking by reading a text.
I don't
like you
remember
can hear
what I
it when
said.
somebody's talking, but he's like, "Is anybody having issues with Wi-Fi?"
Yeah, that's kind of it. All right, so I plug it in. I turn it on. I was like, oh, look at that. Okay.
Plugs it in. He figures out how to turn it on. 'cause
Yeah,
he
figure it
can't
out,
find the
figure it
power
out.
button.
It's just 3 hours later.
3 hours later, it's 5
5
in the morning. All right. No, it's probably about 2 o'clock by now. And yes, there's a update. I was like, okay, cool, the update. So then I'm like, okay, cool.
What was the update size? Do we know?
403 megabytes, I believe.
Okay.
No, it was like 300 or something.
389.
Okay.
389. Cool. Anyway,
Small.
yeah. So it starts dialing that. It gets about 50 or 60%. A network error has occurred. I'm like, all right, no problem. People are online. We should restart that. No big deal. I'm on my computer. I'm still chilling out from work. And at that point, it was like a 15, 16-hour day. And I'm just like, okay, no big deal. I go again. Network failure. And I'm like, okay, let me try and do a restart on this. No big deal. Do it again. Same issues come up. Then eventually, I'm like, well, my friend told me about the thumb drive, and I tried to get to Sony's official website. Not happening. Not happening whatsoever. So I'm like,
Now, to explain to people, you were trying to download the update to a thumb drive from their website to install it on the system.
yeah, that's essentially what I was doing. So I
Which
couldn't
I've done
even-
for years with different.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't get to the update to download it. So all right, so at this point it's probably like 2:30, 3 a.m., whatever.
He's rolling a tear.
Yeah, crying a little bit whenever I'm sending those messages. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wake up mega early because no one's gonna be up around 7 or 8 a.m. The network's
I
gonna
did.
be-
I had that same thought at 5, and it worked.
Did it? Okay. So anyway, I was like, oh, I'll wake up early, and then so of course I slept in. It's 8:30. I'm like, oh fuck, stores are open up soon. People are gonna start downloading that. So I get back online, and then I try the updates again. I just keep hitting the X button, and it just network error. I probably tried 25 times. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go back, do my download. The original guide that went up did not tell you to make folders inside of it for the PlayStation to properly read it.
Which is the
Yeah.
problem that we had when we were trying to transfer my hard drive.
I knew that. I just forgot it.
Yeah.
So anyway, eventually I went to a second guide saying, all right, this is why it's not working for people.
And it's
Set
got to be
up-
all capitals and all that
Yeah,
crap.
so set up the proper one. So I did that, no big deal. I set it on, And then I do the start in safe mode. Also, one of the times I was actually doing this, my system
Force booted into safe, right?
force booted into safe. I think it was like the second or third time I actually did it, like late last night. That's when I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to bed now." It's like it like froze, and then it forced into safe mode, and I was like, "Shit."
I broke it!
Yeah. So I'm like, and tomorrow. So anyway, I did that. After the files were good, installed, no big deal whatsoever. It went on, and then I was able to get into everything. That exact same part where your system froze, though, my system did freeze the exact same point after you did like the sharing and all that junk.
And so, but
My
once you went
froze
through
right
like
there.
the Facebook integration and all that.
I didn't even
crap.
get to that. I froze
Okay.
before I got to the sharing. I ended up just putting my Facebook on like I think yesterday, the day before.
Okay.
After that, I mean, I actually started to do my downloads and stuff like that, and it seemed to work out pretty well. My biggest thing, though, is I couldn't play Battlefield. Battlefield was my only game I wanted to play for multiplayer, and I ran into it where I couldn't get any games. And EA ended up blaming Sony's patch at last second for breaking a lot of it. But once you got into a game, it was fantastic, but it broke my experience for day one for the most part.
All right, so this is the next part that I was wanting to jump into is out of the games that you did purchase or forgot, what did you play? So obviously, Bryan, you did Knack. And,
I started off with Knack,
Okay,
and
you can go ahead. We're gonna combine this and you can go because I know you probably bought the least amount of games.
Yeah.
So go ahead and go into Knack. That.
so Knack, yeah, I picked up Knack, and I was not impressed. And I had read beforehand that it was not great.
Yeah, you started to get cold feet about
yeah.
2 days before.
Yeah, when
it was
reviews were
Wednesday
coming
when
out,
I was there at
yeah.
the store with Jay.
And people were kind of saying, Knack's not that great.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, I'll give it a shot, but I didn't have any high hopes for it. And I picked it up, and it's very pretty.
What was the quote? Runs like you shit his pants?
Yeah, he runs like he shit his pants.
I could see that.
He really, especially when he's like in the little mode. And he's just boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to knock the table there.
Oh, you're good.
And it's just really bland. It's not that it's bad. It's just that,
No,
like,
it's bad.
well,
I heard
okay.
No,
it
it's
plays
really
like
bad.
a PS2 game.
It does. It's very, 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 very simple. The
It's not
story
even like
is
a good retro. It's just kind of
no. It's a very it doesn't feel
Piss poor.
next gen.
It's a really bad game.
Visually, it looks good. Good enough at
Doesn't
least.
make a good game.
But yeah, and the characters are boring and ugh.
Okay.
It's just not compelling at all.
Did you get a
Are we
chance?
talking about Knack, or are we just doing all of Brian's games?
So we're doing Bryan's games right now.
So I got rid of Knack through a useful source and got Marvel superheroes instead.
And have you had a chance to play
I
that?
played it a little bit.
Okay.
It has all the same flaws as the other Lego games, which is that they really feel more like they're destroying the environment, which is fun for like 2 minutes. But then, like, come on, guys, I get it. Everything breaks here. But the gameplay is okay.
Brian hates every game ever.
Actually, I don't necessarily disagree. I've played every Lego game that they made, and I play them with my girlfriend. She's one of the people that has to break everything and collect every stuff.
Well, because you get points for it.
Yeah, but once you're maxed out, then just move on.
Yeah, I mean it's.
She's over here like chopping at a wall, and like it's not even
Yeah.
doing anything. I'm like, what are you doing? Can we go like progress?
Yeah, so the games are very much about that, which I think is not particularly interesting. I can see a few things being destructible, but everything except for like trees are destructible and walls.
Yeah.
Like every other, yeah. So it's interesting, but it's better than Knack. I would have preferred.
Slight upgrade.
I would have preferred one of the Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which was a 360 launch title. I enjoyed that kind of a game more. There's not really like an RPG or growth element to it. There are lots of characters. There's like 100 some odd characters in the game, which could be fun. But
Stanley.
Stan Lee's in it, and he's really funny in it. In fact, he's also shown as like one of the villains.
Okay.
In the intro.
Is there a big jump? I mean, I obviously you didn't play it on current or past gen. I guess we can call it past gen now.
Last
Right.
Was there
Last
really a
gen.
big jump between the PS2 and the PS3 versions even? Like, because the first Lego games came for PS2, and they still looked pretty good at the time. There's they're Lego
I mean,
characters.
did anything stand out to you
No.
between the game? You know,
No.
that didn't look more plasticky or anything.
There's some
more
nice.
shiny?
Well, you know, I played the
Sparkle, sparkle.
PS3 version of DC Batman 2,
Mhm.
Lego Batman 2.
Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes.
Yeah, and it seems like there's more reflection and like more of a plasticky feel to them.
Mm-hmm.
But they're Legos.
Okay.
So it's,
That's a launch title that I'm picking up for my Xbox, so that's why I'm curious.
maybe you'll notice things I didn't, because I didn't stick with the DC or the Batman 2 for very long.
Okay.
And honestly, if I had any other titles for the PS4, I wouldn't have stuck with Lego Marvel Super
I mean, haven't you downloaded some stuff?
I have.
already? Well,
Okay.
we're going.
I
into,
downloaded
Yeah.
Warframe for
Okay.
about 2 minutes and said, no, this isn't for me.
Okay. Now, Warframe is, for people that are not familiar, it's very Fantasy Star-ish. It's technically an MMO, but you're kind of in a small. You do individual group dungeons and
Yeah.
stuff. You don't really
People
interact
call it
on
Fantasy
a.
Stars, huh?
Hmm?
They call it Fantasy. Okay.
Yeah. I have Angry Andy and his group that they play that game religiously.
I liked the original Fantasy Star back in the day on Dreamcast.
Mhm.
Fantasy Star Online. And it's
Fantasy Star Online 2. You remember that announced trailer?
no, I don't.
Oh, it's great.
And that.
It was that total English.
Oh yeah. Well, it doesn't surprise me.
That's how That's how it was announced. Fantasy Star Online 2. Jesus Christ.
He remembers that very well.
Fucking Sega, man.
So we got Warframe.
Yeah, and I don't consider it Fantasy Star like just because it controls like a first-person shooter rather than a Japanese style.
It's made by the guy that made Dark Void. Dark Void, yeah. Yeah, what Grandpa said. Grandpa's talking to the TV, so.
And then I picked up Contrast. Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't
Contrast.
heard bad reviews on that.
Yeah, it's
How much was it?
free.
Free.
$3.99
Free, yeah.
I know
Contrast-
Warframe
with a mail-in rebate.
Okay.
It's free to PSN members. And it's PS Plus, yeah.
Mhm.
And so if you got the console, you got a free month of PS Plus. I could not redeem that free month, but I was already a member.
You
so
can't. You won't be able
you'll
to.
be able to redeem
Yeah,
it.
I was ticked off about that. I was like,
Yeah.
I got so mad. Oh,
Yeah.
it was like every game had like a
They
free
don't
7-day
stack.
trial.
It's for
Yeah,
people who
yeah.
don't have it.
Yeah, I got the $10 one that worked fine. Anyway, yeah, Contrast was okay. I shouldn't say that. It's not okay. There's some interesting stuff that it does with light and the graphics style is kind of interesting. But the controls are not great. It really feels like a game that was rushed. And
I'm really
to meet
looking
the
forward
launch.
to that one. I haven't played it yet, though.
It's not. I found it more interesting than Knack, just because it's
hard
not as
not to.
bland. But there are some definite problems. I've heard it's buggy. I haven't had any issues with it being buggy. I have had some like clipping and like hit detection type issues with it. It's okay. It's free. Play it because it's free.
Free
But
99.
but if it had not come out at launch, I don't think anyone would have played it in
I
its
would've.
current form. It's not.
It was one of the two games I wanted to buy off PSN.
I probably would have bought it if it wasn't
It was,
free.
and it's the two
before
games
I
they
saw the
they gave
reviews.
away for free.
Yeah, I probably not have bought it if I had seen the reviews. But because it was free, I tried it and it was okay. But it's not something to get super excited over. However, Resogun, the other free game, thumbs way the fuck up.
It's a good game.
It's a very good game. Were you
Second.
gonna ask something or?
Well, I wanted, because thinking about, and I know we kind of jumped past it a little bit,
Mhm.
but you, right out of the box practically, upgraded your hard drive.
I did.
Okay.
How did that go?
I
Was
completely
that just
forgot
like
about
a
that.
yeah.
so-
plug and play?
Pros and cons. There's no PlayStation hard drive backup utility like the PS3 had. So you can't plug in another hard drive and just transfer it over and swap them.
That might suck.
You have to basically take out the drive. Well, first, because you have PlayStation Plus, you can back up all your stuff to the cloud. So, and it's constantly doing the backup.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like the PlayStation 3, where it would do it like overnight,
Mhm.
or where you kind of do it. I don't think it do it manually on the PS3. I think at first it did do it manually, and later the PS3 auto synced it.
You were able to set a
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
that
Well, it
you
does.
wanted.
Yeah, it does the morning auto sync, but I think it may also sync while you're playing, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
If the game supports it, I'm not sure, because it asks if you want. It may just ask if you want to sync it at the beginning. It asks if you want to.
On PS3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that for every game.
Yeah. This auto syncs without you doing anything. So I made sure my backups were good, or my cloud saves were good. popped out the drive, popped in the new one. You have to install the system software yourself, which is a different download from the update. It's a 1 gig download, which still isn't bad. You have to throw it on a thin thumb drive that fits into that slot because bigger thumb drives won't fit in the slot on the front of the PS3. But that's not the end of the world. You also just grab an extension cable, USB extension cable, plug it into that if you had to.
Okay.
Download that. It's going to start in safe mode if the hard drive doesn't have an operating system on it. So you don't have to worry about starting in
So
safe
then you
mode.
just read off of the
thumb drive.
just exactly how you did the update, right?
Yeah, just so you do the update. So it has to be in the folder
Good
called PS4, and then a folder called Update, then it reads it from there.
Good to know.
It runs it, and then you have to redo the setup stuff.
Okay.
The setup doesn't take too long when the PlayStation Network is working.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
takes like 5 minutes, and then you just go back and download whatever saves you want.
Okay.
Oh, very nice. That actually sounds not that as
It's
bad.
not too bad.
Yeah.
Now,
'Cause
if you had
with
games
PS3,
installed on the drive,
that stuff used to take forever.
yeah, it did. No, it's fairly quick.
Mine took 4 days.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's pretty bad.
Transfer-
like that.
if you
transfer
have-
and download all my stuff. Yeah.
If you have games downloaded, you have to re-download those games.
Yeah, whatever.
They're
They're a lot quicker.
PlayStation Store is much faster.
Much faster.
Downloads are much faster.
We'll get to talking about.
If you have games installed though, or if you downloaded like a whole game, that would take you a long time to download. Because
Which hard drive did you do? Did you do like the 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte?
I put a 750, 7200 RPM drive in because I swapped out a 1 terabyte in my laptop that had a 750.
Oh, okay.
The 1 terabyte. That is a whole other story. That 1 terabyte that I bought may be defective.
The one that you put in your PlayStation?
No, the one that
No,
I put
you
in my
put in your
computer,
laptop. Okay.
which sucks. Thankfully, I was able to pull it back up, so I have pretty much everything.
Is it humming?
No, it's just getting IO errors.
Okay.
And I think it's the hard drive because I created new files and they had errors. So it wasn't just from the transfer over from the old drive. So
Mark,
yeah.
what games
All right. First thing,
did
I
you
wanted
get a chance to play?
honestly, I wanted Battlefield 4 to be my first one I played multiplayer. I couldn't do it. Network would not let
Have
me.
you still not been able to play?
No, I
Battlefield 4?
have. But so first game I started off with Assassin's Creed. Figured single player, what the hell not? Honestly, I would rate it higher than 3 and higher than Revelations in the beginning. I mean, it jumps you off and you actually are doing like action right away, and it's less bullshit tail missions, which they love for some reason. They're still there, but so far a little bit more interesting at least.
So it starts with a little bit more of a bang.
A little bit more of a bang. It is the glitchiest one I have played, though, in terms of what you can and can't climb. Like, sometimes there'll be a little ledge, and it will not there'll be, like, almost invisible. I ran into it several times where, like, it's, like, a very little ledge. Like, you're talking about, like, a 6-inch ledge, and for some reason, because you're on a different surface, it won't let you jump up that. I've run into it 2 or 3 times already. The ship, when you're on the ships, that's awesome. That's really fun when you're actually doing the ship-to-ship fighting. I honestly just got to the open world, so I think I'm probably about maybe 2 or 3 hours into it. I probably played a lot of PS4 the last weekend because I had a day or 2 off there. But that one I would rate relatively well. I mean, it's good. I mean, considering
Good, yeah, Tony.
what came out, I have to say it's one of the better ones right now because there's nothing open worlds out like that. It's kind of cool. Second game I did play was Battlefield because I was determined as shit. Right now, this is my favorite PlayStation 4 game. I don't do multiplayer gaming ever, really. Like, map designs have gotten so crappy in some games that it's spawn camping. Battlefield 4 has some of the best map design I've ever seen. They did a awesome job. I remember my first mission was parachuting in to, in GoldenEye, the satellite dish, parachuting in, looking across, seeing about 32 other people also parachuting in, and you land on a satellite dish. And it's like, there's no cover whatsoever, so it was a shootout for about 15 seconds, and I realized I'm just going to fucking die, so I jumped on those. I've just been having, like, really, really good action-packed moments in the game. I'm surprised. As you know, for me, I don't do multiplayer competitive gaming for the most part. I'm having a blast with
With you
it,
playing, Tony, you haven't done online yet, yeah, correct?
I haven't. Battlefield 4 is still in the shrink wrap.
Have you used the packaged-in headset?
Tried.
Oh.
I don't know exactly.
What?
I tested the headset with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
He used the built-in headset. I used the one from my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I bought like a clip set of headphones that had the mic
Yeah,
in it.
the lapel mic.
It works great with that.
Does it?
but the sound quality on it goes. So if you want to,
I've heard about the sound quality issue for whatever reason, but I honestly had no one in 3 different games I jumped into using the mic though. I don't know why that was. Like no one just randomly talking.
I see that a lot with because I've obviously been playing my PlayStation 3 a lot more frequently than I have with my Xbox, particularly Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
And the only time people are ever talking is if they're talking about stuff that is not relevant to the game. Like most games, but I mean, even when you're in a mission, like we were talking when we were on Skype, I was in missions with other people and you see their headset icon, nothing.
Yeah.
There's no communication. I don't know if that's just...
That's PlayStation Network. Nobody talks.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the culture of PlayStation. To start, obviously...
I think that'll change a little bit with the ease of actually connecting a headset. I think a lot of Bluetooth problems of connecting
like I said, I have a at least on my PS3. It's a USB headset.
Yeah.
And I can't get the damn thing to work.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping that, right in the bottom of the controller, I hope more people, over the course of it. There's also no good headset out there to go out and buy right now. Well, Turtle Beach did a repackaging.
They all work though. Like my X11s off my 360 work on
They
the
were
PS4.
working? Okay.
No, you have to buy this little $6 cable that I'm waiting to be shipped over.
Any headset...
Why didn't you ask me for one?
We don't have them at GameStop.
I have 3 of them.
At GameStop?
No, here.
Oh, I'll take it then. I'll cancel it.
I'll try to find it.
Yeah.
I think I know where it's at.
Okay.
No, it's for the PS4 though.
It also is for my off-topic. It's for my drum kit. It's got different size. The jacks are different. I know which one it is.
Okay.
I'm 90% sure.
The port in the controller is basically a standard TRRS cable. So any headset that you'd buy for a cell phone will work with this as well. That's with the 4 segments, tip, ring, sleeve. They will all work with the PS4 controller. So if you have headset that came with your phone, that should work in the PS4 controller.
Well, no, I got fucking X11s. I'd rather use those.
Well, yeah, and you can set the audio to go through the controller completely. So you can even have all the game audio run through the controller and just have a quiet headset moment. If you
That's essentially what I do want to have eventually because it's my Xbox was set up. I just wanted to look into what headsets I'd like. Yes.
All right. So after
that,
did any downloads?
I did Resogun. I give 2 thumbs up. Resogun. That's doing pretty awesome. Let's see what else did I do.
That seems like the gem so far.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely.
And can I just say, I really wish that it was in 3D. Because the crazy particle effects in that game, like when you finish
the particle
a level,
effects look awesome.
Holy shnikes! It's just like dust and shit everywhere.
Yeah,
it's
very nice.
It would look so awesome in 3D. It's not.
I did pick up Madden as my free game. Hate the crap out of it. It's too real now, and it's taking away from the fun factor of it. It's the player momentum thing, and it's like. It's too sensitive to like the thumbsticks, so if you're not going the exact right direction, you kill your momentum and you just get tackled.
Now, Tony, you don't play Madden, right? Okay,
not for a long time.
I see a switch here. Give him to Call of Duty, you take the Madden, but
yeah.
I used to love Madden back in the '90s and stuff, but
and then I did do Flower.
How was that the transition
it is
from PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4?
It is the best looking game I have played yet.
And have you downloaded DCU?
No, that's the only one I have not yet done.
We need to get on that this week.
In terms of graphics, I give it to Flower. Again, I would love to see Resogun 3D and then probably Battlefield for right now.
Okay.
Flower, you just got. I mean, you've already bought it. I'm assuming one of you.
No,
okay.
but I'm
it's
very
free.
familiar
It's
with
free
it.
for you. That Sound Shapes and
Sound Shape isn't free.
Yeah, if you have it on PS3.
Oh, if you have a PS3, makes sense.
That's the same thing with Flower. Flower's only free.
Right here.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. I have Flower,
I'm just
not
giving
Sound
you a high
Shapes.
five.
Yeah.
You just burned them.
Yeah. No, it's the cross.
Yeah, the cross-buy. Yeah, so I have one of the 2. I guess you could have done.
There's one more to it. Sound Shapes, Flower, and something else that if you owned it on the PS3, you get the upgraded one for free.
Anyway, Flower looks really, really good. Actually, like it looked good before, and it's just go look at it. It's pretty.
Nice. Tony,
look at it.
Mr. Killzone. That's the one that we've been waiting to hear.
Yeah, I know.
I played Knack for a little at Bryan's. It's really bad. Bryan was being very nice.
He got beat up.
It's not good. It is not a good game. I can't think of one redeeming quality about it. I was just sitting there and it's so boring.
Now, is it a platformer? I mean, what?
Yeah.
It's really off my radar.
There's like these weird.
And that Tony's a platform guy.
There's like these weird things where like Resident Evil 6 did, where like
Cutscene.
it stops you to put a cutscene in that does nothing for anything. It just stops the game to like take you out of the reality for a minute or two and just do like there's this one that I came to. Brian's watching me play. I come up to this ledge. So it stops for a cutscene just for you and the other dude. I don't know his fucking name because I haven't played the game that long.
Yeah, the scientist.
Just to jump down the cliff, like a little 10-foot drop, and then you're back in the action. So why is this a thing?
It's like
why,
the helicopter scene all over
why
again.
does this need to be
It's like the desert.
Yeah,
Don't bring that up.
Mark gets angry. It's just I don't know, man. It wasn't very good. The combat wasn't good. It boring.
Something about the game, and again, completely off my radar, but I made, in a personal opinion, I was like, yeah, that's going to be the first thing that they give out free
PlayStation Plus.
on PlayStation Plus.
That'll be
is that
month
game.
2, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not good.
Burn everyone who actually bought it.
Not good. I downloaded Contrast and Resogun. Haven't played Contrast yet because I've been so ridiculously busy since I bought this PS4. I wish I had the 2 or 3 days just to sit around and
Like I did.
fucking
I took
play
time
this
off
thing.
work, yeah.
But I mean, I only have 2 more weeks of landscaping, and then I can play the shit out of these things. So, Contrast seems right up my alley. Personally, I like that kind of weird stuff, and that seems more story driven and platformy than.
There are some very interesting platforming things in it, I will say.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. So I actually want to pay attention to that story, so I elected not to start it yet. I heard it's not a long game, so I'll probably sit there and tear through it one day.
Okay.
Then I have Battlefield and Call of Duty, like I said earlier. Call of Duty I got for free. I think I'm going to trade that for Dead Rising when the Xbox comes out. But I haven't opened Battlefield 4 yet because I've been playing Killzone. But before that, Resogun. Resogun it really is good. I'm having a blast with it. I'm not very good at it yet, and I'm usually pretty good at twin stick shooters. It's weird because there's only left and right. You can move any way you want. It's just interesting, and I keep screwing up with these. There's like these little humans you have to save, which I don't know why they're part of the game. Other than
It's basically Defender. I've never played the original Defender back in the day.
I do think those was kind of explained poorly of like why they randomly die in the cage sometimes.
If you don't destroy the keepers in time, then they'll die in the cage.
Who are the keepers?
The glowing
actual
green
alien.
enemies, the ones that glow green. It'll actually usually say keepers detected, and like this little line will appear or some
You have to
glowing
go
green
right for
enemies.
them.
You have to kill them. That will unlock the case that holds the human, and if you don't kill them in time, the human in the case dies. I don't know why, but that's just how they build up tension.
and usually there's so much going on that
Yeah.
when stuff like that happens, like
That's what it means. It's been over my head. This
In the
whole time.
beginning, it's easy, but then you get like 5 or 6 minutes in, and it's just like, there's a lot going on. The last thing on your mind is like the stupid human. You're just trying not to get hit, There's an awful lot going on, so. But
those bombs.
I'm having an awful,
The bombs are
love
cool.
using them.
I'm having an awful lot of fun. That game, that's probably the game I've played the most, to be honest, is Resogun. I'm really enjoying it.
That would be
Are you guys playing the default ship, or are you picking a different ship?
I'm doing the default one right now.
I'm the one that's 5s across.
it's the
I've
default
slipped
one.
over to the one that's faster but has weaker overdrive, and actually it gets homing attacks after a couple upgrades, which is pretty nice.
And Killzone. Killzone is the prettiest game I've seen, but then again, I've only seen 3-4 games on the PS4 so far. So, I mean, there's nothing, that beats it visually, but that's to be expected. Gorilla Cambridge always gets the most out of Sony hardware. It's a lot of fun. I think I'm on chapter 3 or 4. I'm having a really good time with it. It's everything I was hoping. I have not tried the multiplayer yet.
Damn, that's what I want.
Because I'm playing the campaign, but I'll let you guys probably know by next weekend. I probably would have given it a shot. I'm not usually huge into Killzone multiplayer. Killzone 2 is pretty good, and Mercenaries is actually decent too. But it's not why I buy those games. I buy them for the story, and that's what I'm playing right now. It's a lot of fun. Killzone's really good. It really is. I haven't seen any problems with it yet. Runs really smooth. It's really clean, and it's.
You like the touch controls too?
Really pretty.
That's where I was going to go right now. Before we jump into our next section really quick, just a real quick sum up. What do you think about the controller?
I love the controller. I haven't actually done anything that uses the touchscreen controls, really. but it's comfortable. I played with it beforehand on my computer. Slightly wider spacing, slightly bigger D-pad. Overall, I think it's great.
Okay.
The only complaint I have, sorry,
No, go for it.
the light bar on the front reflects on my TV like crazy.
Okay.
It's a big blue stripe on my TV, whatever my controller is.
My two things against the controller would be, one would actually be the light bar, only when it's glowing white though. That thing it's basically a powerful LED.
Mm-hmm.
It is very bright.
Okay.
My second thing, I absolutely hate the options button. It's almost too small and it's not elevated enough to hit it constantly. It's also I've mistakenly hit the touch button instead many a time. I know it's probably I'll get better at it over time, but I think I've had probably one of the most play times with it this year this week, with the exception of maybe you with your because you had it like a week earlier with the PC. But I've had it running into where the options button is being finicky because I keep missing it.
Tom?
I love the DualShock. They corrected so many problems from the DualShock 3, but I didn't mind the DualShock 3 anyway. The only complaint I have is I don't know if the sticks are too high or if the controller is too wide, like width-wise, I guess, not height or
I feel like you're
length.
kind of overreaching with your thumb.
So maybe that's what's making me feel like the thumbsticks are too high because the actual control. But that's just stuff because I've only been playing with it a few hours that'll go away.
They are set further apart.
No, it's this way. I feel like I don't know if it's because the controller's too thick or the sticks are too high.
How's the weight compared to the DualShock 3?
It's good.
It feels really good.
The controller's really
It
good.
is
The
one of
triggers
I
are
touched it for
awesome.
30 seconds when I was adjusting it for the video.
Yeah.
That was it. So
Honestly, it
it
is one of the nicest controllers to just pick up for the first time. Like, wow.
was okay.
Feels good.
How about any of the new features or apps or anything like that? Anybody download anything? Try out anything? with
I've
it?
used Netflix.
Okay.
I've been watching The Killing.
Okay.
They don't say whether it's getting Super HD, so I wonder if they're doing that or not. I would assume that they are. My TV gets it. I can't imagine why the PlayStation 4 wouldn't. It's getting at least regular HD. I don't know if it's getting Super HD or not. I've installed but not used the Amazon videos.
Okay.
The
The Prime?
Yeah, the Amazon
Okay.
Prime Video. And I have had an issue. I don't know if you guys have had this problem. I don't get the feeds of what other people are doing. It worked for me once, and that was it.
I only
You guys-
saw myself doing it, and I kind of figured that I was the only one playing because it was like 8 a.m. and I haven't looked at it since.
I think it was yesterday. It worked for a little while, and it showed me myself and someone who has a competing podcast who I'm friends with on. And I saw their updates. I didn't see anything from you, Tony. I didn't see. I don't think we're friends on PlayStation, Mark.
Probably not. I should change that.
Yeah.
Superberg. Okay. Urban Assault.
Text me that later.
Yeah. Anyways.
So yeah, the whole like Facebook style or Twitter style feed of all your friends' activity. I saw it one time. It hasn't worked for me since.
Where is that? I totally forgot
when
that's
you
a
first
thing.
the first panel when it starts up that thing like what's new or whatever. If you press down, it would show you all that stuff.
That's
So
what
I
I've
don't
done
even know if
mistakenly.
mine's worked or
I've
not.
done it mistakenly before that.
Yeah, it has not worked for me besides that one time. And I've let it sit for like 10 minutes and come back and it still was not working.
What?
So,
Have you downloaded any apps?
I
or
downloaded
played with any
Crackle.
non-game?
Because Crackle is kind of interesting for the most part. It's free, you know. They actually have some brand new shows up there too. I totally forgot what it was. It was surprisingly.
is Jerry Seinfeld's show on there? The comedians in cars getting coffee. Have you seen that?
I haven't
I know
explored
Sony
enough,
does it.
but yeah, it could be.
Okay.
So that's the only application I've installed to this point.
Okay.
I haven't even done Netflix or anything on it yet. I've been still using my 360.
I know. I was going to
instead of
say you were on
Netflix.
your 360 this morning.
I haven't done anything. Sadly, I haven't tried cross play.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
I
anybody
tried-
hooked up the Vita.
I hooked it up just for a second.
I tried to do. I don't quite understand the share thing yet because when you click the share button, it's like, all right, you're ready to stream, or whatever, and then but like it didn't give me an option, so then I backed out because I wasn't even playing anything. It would have just streamed me playing with the UI. So then I backed out, and then I saw the thingies for Ustream and Twitch, and I'm like, oh, okay. So then I click on those individually, and it's not like sign in or log in or do you want to sign up or it just brings you to the stuff that other people are already streaming.
Okay.
So I backed out and I didn't get it. I'm like, wait, this isn't right. So then I hit the share button again. It's like, are you ready to upload? It's like, what? So I backed
Actually,
out and I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Twitch currently, as of earlier this afternoon, is not live streaming from PlayStation 4.
See, I heard the
It's
opposite.
recording it
Uh-huh.
and uploading it about 20 minutes later.
See, I heard the opposite from someone. I haven't played with it. I had heard that it's doing the live streaming, but it's not letting you record and save.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure.
But I haven't played with it,
Yeah.
to be honest. I don't want to. That's why I haven't said anything about
I
it.
have
either.
a footage to upload, and I just have to edit it. But again, I have to do that. Still,
Yeah.
So.
So you did hook up your Vita. Did you do anything with it?
No,
or-
I was planning on doing some crossplay, but this was with the original hard drive, and I was like, why am I doing all this stuff now? I'll do it with my next hard drive.
Okay.
And because I've been working on my computer, trying to see if I can salvage the 1 terabyte, or whether I have to send it
Yeah,
back.
you've kind of been.
I've been stuck on that.
That's Seagate.
Anybody?
No, it's HGST. They're the only ones that make a 1 terabyte 7200 RPM drive. It's Hitachi. They bought out IBM's hard drive.
Anybody downloaded the mobile app for
Yes.
PlayStation? Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
I'm ready. It just when I was doing it, I couldn't connect the device because my buddy was using it.
Okay.
I've had people.
Anybody
coming
sync
over
it
all
with their
week.
PS4? I have it. Obviously, I can't sync mine.
I
with
did
the
sync it, but I
PlayStation
didn't do
4.
anything with it.
Okay.
What do you mean sync it? It's auto. You just sign in.
No,
your-
you have to
No,
add
you
the
can
device.
sync it and do a second screen on from PS4 to the device.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to add the device.
Oh,
It asks-
really?
It asks
Yeah.
for a code.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's why I
Yeah,
didn't do it.
that's
yeah.
obviously it's not available on PS3, so I can still manage my friend. I've sent Mark messages from my phone, to the PlayStation Network. And
That's
stuff.
why I tried to respond on that, and that's why I was like, I go to the device because my buddy was playing Resogun. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And what is the most the biggest feature that you're looking forward to using that you haven't played with yet?
Probably the streaming. I
Okay.
tried to kind of check it out. Again, I've been like tired and busy, and I was
Yeah.
just like,
Oh, I figured when I didn't,
Like
when
this-
you're like last night, Tony was like, "Hey, I'm heading home. I'll let you know when I get it up and running." Because I was going to jump on and check it out and see how it looked from my end. And then I didn't hear from him, but I saw that it was on Netflix, so I figured you probably just you weren't able to get it up. Go.
yeah, I didn't like I said, the only option it just was like, do you want to watch somebody else play? It's
Yeah.
like, no, wait,
No.
where's the thing where? And I was just like, I
I'm
don't
sure
care.
Mark will figure it out within the next 24 hours and then just tell you how to do it.
maybe.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, I don't care this
Yeah,
much.
tomorrow off again. Honestly, that's something I have to go experiment with. I'm not really missing it yet. There's one. Were you gonna do like things you wish were there? Like later?
Yeah, there's one of those.
Okay, cool. I was like, honestly, so far I've seen a lot of the system. The only thing I've not done yet is the editing of videos. That's for tomorrow, I guess.
Okay. Anything that you're looking forward to that you haven't had a chance to play with yet?
That's currently available. I don't
Tony's
think so.
package. Oh,
Is that available?
Always
It's in the
available.
playroom.
It's in the playroom. I thought about getting the camera and playing with the playroom, but
Do they still have home? Is that still?
No.
that's gone.
Thank
that
God.
was barely a thing on the PS3.
I liked bowling. All right. We do have some questions from our listeners, so we're going to jump into those now. First one's from Metro Android.
What's up?
Right, what Mark was saying. Are there any features that you wish that they would incorporate that they haven't?
There's one big one, and it's in the friends list actually. I don't know if you're on PS3 or if you're on PS4. There's no separation of it.
Okay.
You're all in one giant list, and I have no idea if I can play with you or
We'll
not.
know next week if the Xbox One does that.
Well, no, because Sony never did that. I'm trying to think back to the Vita. When you're on the Vita, you can't
It doesn't
tell.
really differentiate.
You
yeah.
can't
Yeah, that's
tell
what I
if
mean.
they're
All
on
your
their-
The only
trophies
reason-
all show up in the same
You
list.
can't tell if they're on their
Yeah.
Vita or their PS3 anyway, so I
The-
don't think there's any plan to make your PS4 be able to do that either.
The only reason I say that is because the only reason I can even differentiate who was who
By
was
what they're playing?
one, it was you. I know you didn't have it. Second one was it was somebody playing Arkham Origins Blackgate.
Yeah.
So that was my indication he's on his Vita.
What does it
Might
say?
be.
What does it say when you're on mobile? Does it say anything?
I don't believe it even
I don't
showed
think
you
you're on.
online.
Okay.
It may have, but I might have just been checking at that
Okay.
moment.
Brian, anything that you feel is missing?
I found it surprising that that 3D Blu-ray support was not there.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly they're going to work on it along with DLNA.
3D's
and,
time.
Yeah, but it's really cool if you have it.
Yeah.
Actually, like, I was watching Pacific Rim and I would pause it, and you can still get the 3D effect. You kind of like move your head a little bit, and it's fun. It's a gimmick. I completely grant that it's a gimmick, but it is fun.
I'm sure.
And they're still pushing it in theaters a lot. I don't think theaters are going to get rid of it, so it'd be nice to bring the
Spend a
theater
lot of
stuff
money on
home.
that, probably.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's just like a nice extra thing to have.
Okay.
And considering it was already in the PS3, I'm surprised it's not there.
You know what I need? I need to play my frickin' CDs on that. That is an outrage. I can't play my MP3s. Tony, what do you have to add into this?
Actually, that support is coming, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
There's just no ETA.
I really wish that all the digital stuff that I had on my PS3 would carry over, because then I'd be able to slowly but sure, like, at least unplug one of these and throw it in the drawer. Everything's still very relevant. I think I'll be able to put my 360 away when the Xbox One comes out, because
You're not playing anything on it right now.
yeah,
The last thing that you did was GTA, and that was just a rental. Yeah.
So like I just don't I don't think I need my 360 anymore.
Sure.
When the Xbox One comes out, unfortunately, I do need my PS3 because of the insane. I mean, they're still giving us free shit away. It's like I don't know.
Nick Kuntz, he asked, how long do you think it'll be until we see the first price drop?
More than a year.
I'd say at the price point it's at, it's going to be more than a year.
I think you're more likely to see one from the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Than the PS4. Yeah, I would say within 2 years, maybe.
Speculation on, I'm adding on to his question. What do you think? First price drop, how much?
50
$50.
bucks.
50 bucks.
You think they're going to go that big? I like personally, I'm thinking maybe 20 or 30.
No, I don't think it's enough to make people care.
I don't think you're gonna have a price cut before, probably after next Christmas.
Yeah, after next Christmas at some point.
Christmas, you'll probably see bundles. You
We're
might even
already,
see.
we're already going to see a bundle with Infamous in February.
March
Yeah, but does
21st?
it
but it's-
cost more?
Does it? Is it more?
Well, it's that in the game, so it's got a little bit higher of a price on it.
Yeah. That's
but,
what
it's
I'm saying.
but is it still cheaper than just buying them separate? Maybe.
Don't know that one. I haven't looked
No,
that far
I'm
into
saying
it.
a $400 PS4 that gives you a free game.
Okay.
Next year, not.
That'll be next year's Christmas, and then probably after the holiday season, they'll probably drop the price. Xbox.
I think the average.
We'll do it
it's
with
like,
Knack.
what they were saying is it's like 14 months, generally speaking. When you average together everybody who's done price drops, including handhelds and everything like that, it's about 14 months before you see a price drop.
Say a little bit more than that for the PS4, just because it's already the lower price system.
Yeah, like the 360, the first.
They don't have to worry
months.
about they don't have to worry about competition saying undercutting them at this point. So
Yeah, because Microsoft would have to already take a huge price cut just to equal the PS4.
yeah, and then that's when they would have to think $20 off or whatever.
Okay.
Well, and Sony is selling the PS4 supposedly at a loss, whereas Microsoft is not losing money on the Xbox
They've
One.
already made their money back on me.
So, Sony needs to either drop the manufacturing cost of the PS4, or needs to sell a lot more PS4s to make sure they get those attached.
Speaking of that, first million units in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Good for them.
They're they want to hit what was that 5 million by the end of the year.
The end of the
fiscal
year.
year, which
Yeah.
is
Fiscal
March.
year, which is March.
Yeah.
I think they'll do it.
I was gonna ask, what do we think?
I think the numbers are going to come up in the next week or two. They said they were shipping 2 million stateside.
Mm-hmm.
They'll all.
Yeah, that 1
they'll
million
all-
is North America alone. That doesn't count. Is it because they launched other places today?
That's the only place it's
That's the only
launched.
place
is
it's
North
Yeah,
launched.
'cause it's
Yeah,
launching.
UK is the 29th.
Really?
Yeah.
It's because Xbox is next week everywhere.
So
Or
that's
more
what I'm
places.
saying. Like, I'm pretty sure the numbers are going to come up for the first week, and you're going to be at 2 million already.
Yeah.
And that's because there's nothing available. The numbers would be a lot higher if there were more of these things.
Watch Dogs.
You know how a lot more may have sold as if they weren't doing these
Watch
stupid,
Dogs.
crazy bundles they're making people do.
Stupid crazy bundle.
Like you go to GameStop, they're like, "Oh, we don't have any PS4s to
But
sell."
that's not Sony.
That's not Sony's fault.
yeah.
No, that's
Yeah, but that's
GameStop.
like one. They're not holding back hundreds of
No.
consoles for that.
Well, there are none in the store in
Yeah.
your store,
I know.
but they're
We
selling.
can get you one.
You
Yeah.
can get you one, and they're not selling any like that in the store. But there are some held back in the warehouse, I'm sure, for that.
Oh yeah, of course. All right. This one comes in from Andrew Dillon. Said, what do you think of the new UI and the new store?
The store is exactly the same as the
Yes, they
PS3
didn't change
stores,
it all.
but it runs better.
Smoother,
now.
yes.
Yeah,
it
it's
runs
very
much more
fast,
smoothly.
actually. actually.
But I was expecting a redesign. The UI, it's. I don't know. It looks. 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 It loo it's not much different than the PS3 and the Vita kind of morphed together. Like Sony kind of tends to do this. They try stuff out with their handhelds and then apply into their systems. Because I remember when I first got my PS3, I was like, I know this because it was exactly like the PSP. Mm-hmm. And then the Vita tried all this new shit with like the
bubbles.
No, the PS4 doesn't have bubbles, but like
is that the card type thing. Well, when you press the PlayStation button, you can flip through the running applications.
And you could pause games like in the middle, like on the Vita. You could just like hit the button and then go to the PlayStation Store, buy some stuff, and resume the game at the exact same second you're in. You don't have to like close the game out to like all these things. They like try them out on the handhelds first, and they're all on the PS4. So I'm just used to everything ready, even though I've barely spent any time with the thing. It's all
very very comfortable.
Yeah.
I would say the only concern I have is that there's no sorting to that main page. It's just whatever you most recently played. Mm-hmm. So if you have like 20 games or 30 games, you've got to scroll through a long list. There's the same problem on the PS3. When you had a lot of games in the system, why can't I sort the games by title? If I want to play Dungeons & Dragons Towers of Mystara and then switch to X-Men,
you have to go.
I don't start on the top and sort on the bottom. They're both somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah, and the best that you can do is you can sort them by system. So like for me, I have a couple PlayStation 1, a couple PlayStation 2, and then 36 PlayStation 3 games.
If they had a search function in there, maybe
or maybe even like a favorites folder that you can create.
But there's no organization to it. Right now it looks fine because there's only like 10 apps on the thing. But
it could get muddied the longer that it goes on.
That if they don't do something to let you sort that, it's going to be a real pain in the ass to do anything besides jump up and look at your friends list.
That would be my thing as well. Yeah. I actually like if you go up, it brings you into profile settings, friends, messages, all that stuff. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
It was a little bit confusing to find where the download thing was first. It was just in notifications on another menu. It is at another menu. I think that could have been on its own. I think, but the overall when you go down, exactly what Bryan says, it definitely it has pre-installed stuff like the. What I'm thinking about the Unlimited,
the music
Unlimited, and stuff like that. Stuff I may not ever use.
Can you uninstall that?
No,
really. Okay.
No, I tried that. I gotta go on the options for it, but again, it's a little bit. If I have a bunch of stuff on there, I think it's gonna be harder. I think eventually you'll get where I can move over the apps to either alphabetically would be nice, or it'll let me just pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it stays like that.
Favorites or something.
Yeah, like a favorites. I mean, Xbox has it with the pinning system. The pinning system works great. So.
Okay. All right. So now we're 3 days in, right?
Yeah.
2-3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Final thoughts on the system so far, Bryan.
It looks very good. It's smaller than the PS3, which I was very surprised by.
Is it quieter?
I haven't really noticed.
Yeah, I don't even know what's on.
Yeah, it's quiet.
I did want to ask. Anybody have that weird wobble thing?
No.
No.
Well, mine does if you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really? Like you were saying, yeah.
Well, but it looks like it's by design.
Yeah, it is. I think it was Kotaku.
Yeah.
If you take 8 Post-it notes, it'll level it out.
Well, and I think that they designed it's like they wanted to have as much of the bottom surface lifted up to improve heat dissipation. So there's actually only there's 3 rubber feet, one big one on the side and then a couple toward the left,
but not all
the way to the left. So if you put a little leverage on the side, it wobbles a little bit.
Go home and wobble your systems.
Yeah.
No.
I would not do that while there's a disc in it. But because I took it off the shelf to bring it in to take the pictures of it, I noticed it when I was looking at it.
Yeah, okay.
But if it's on a flat surface and you're not touching it, you're not going to notice.
Yeah, that's it. It was a stupid
It's not. I mean, they weren't complaining. It's not like a big controversy.
The bottom
some people online were just
yeah.
Some people brought it up as they can't even design a fucking feet on it.
No, that's not what I heard.
It was by design.
Just like what Bryan said, it was by design.
The
placement of the feet was a little bad.
I was talking about more of idiots online.
Of course.
Using this as a knock.
Of course.
Yeah. No.
So back into your final. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. So it looks really cool. I think it's one of the best looking consoles ever. It feels like the controller is great. It's my favorite controller by far of any controller.
Not the Ouya?
The Ouya comes so close, Jason.
Close to the bottom.
It just bested it.
Well, I mean, technically, his Ouya controller is a DualShock 3.
It's a DualShock 3, or a 6-axis.
Oh,
It's not a DualShock 3. There's no rumble. The only thing I would change about the controller, well, I want to play with yours when you get your Xbox One.
Ooh.
I like the
I this too.
I like the idea of the rumble and the triggers. I think that's an interesting idea.
I do too.
But I think overall the design of the DualShock 4 I like better. I wish you could turn down the brightness of the LED bar. I get why it's there, and it's there for camera tracking as well as for indicating
I may or may not
who's
buy.
who. But it causes a lot of reflections.
It sounds like it's kind of a
it's a nuisance.
unnecessary necessity.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know what I mean? Like
If they just made it dimmer.
or if you have the feature to turn it off, would be possibly an easy fix for it.
Yeah.
Because if you're playing by yourself,
I'm pretty sure they said that there was no way to turn it off.
Yeah, they said that they have not designed any way to do that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you know, like I mean, like it's in my opinion, from what you guys said. It kind of seems like, okay, well, if you only have one controller and you're just playing games by yourself and you don't have the camera, you're not going to use that LED feature for anything.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So, I mean, like, what do you do then? Do you put a piece of tape on? I mean, like, you know.
It's a good question.
What's the
Yeah.
you know.
I haven't even noticed the thing.
Well,
I've got a
your angle's probably a little different than theirs, too, because your gaming habits is like, I don't even know. And then there's a dog here, and then there's one here, and the headset's around his neck.
Like in a noose.
Yep. Just so you know, after he's done playing, he gets that autoerotic asphyxiation going on. So.
Yeah, I mean, I have a plasma TV, so they're glass. They're not. There's no. So. They
And I
reflect a
mean,
lot
you
more.
have you have a very narrow space.
You're running
in which-
LED TV? Plasma?
It's plasma.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean,
'Cause I'm running
obviously,
LCD.
You know, I could definitely see how that would become kind of a nuisance.
It's just a little bit. I mean, you don't notice it in a brighter game because there's enough brightness coming out of the TV that it doesn't reflect. But in dark scenes, you see a little blue triangle on the screen.
Yeah.
I like it overall. I'm happy with it. I wish that Watch Dogs hadn't been delayed. But there are all sorts of things there's also the things I could wish for that are just unrealistic.
Now
I wish Gaikai worked so I could play my PS3 games.
You did mention earlier that if you didn't have the system paid off with the delay of Watch Dogs, you may not
have picked it up.
So right now, thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you regret it?
No, no, I don't regret it. But I don't feel it's a necessity.
Okay.
Because there's nothing really drawing me to it.
Okay.
Resogun is a lot of fun, but I think like Geometry Wars, once a year goes by, no one's gonna play it.
Okay.
Probably not.
Yeah. What you got, sir?
Mine is a slightly positive. I'm gonna go with not full positive for like the launch of it, and it was because I was relying so much on the multiplayer to get my, and I think if I didn't like Battlefield as much, it would be more
I think
positive.
from without saying anything negative, you bought into the gimmick of the network being more stable and everything.
Yes,
when in reality, no system that I can think of, home console, has had a smooth transition or a smooth launch. And I mean, this is only, I'm not even going to count the PlayStation 2. This is only the second generation for Sony with a strong online presence. And I can see how they would still be having issues.
Yeah. When I was in game, though, that thing was running so smooth. 60 frames.
No lag. I mean, how
no
about like lag?
Not even the slightest.
No frames.
No screen tearing.
No,
like that?
I did not notice anything. I'm actually very bad at picking up screen tearing for the most part, though.
Yeah, we had a big thing about that with you before. Like, this game sucks. I can see it ripping.
Yeah. I mean, it's just for some reason, I don't know. My eyes don't look at them. I'm elsewhere, I guess. I don't know. But from what I saw, there's the multiplayer when I was working was great. It was great.
It was good.
Tony?
Yeah.
Never gonna die.
I love
Ever.
the light bar when it changes colors on the actual console. That is a very cool feature.
What does it change colors for?
Oh yeah.
What purpose is that,
Pink,
sir?
I don't know why.
No, not
There's-
what colors. But
There's a stripe in the center of the console, more or less, like where the glossy and the thing, and
which
it
is
indicates
that-
the state of the console.
Okay.
So it's like blue when it's on. It
blue when it's powering on.
Yeah,
And then
it's
the blue
yellow when it's in
blinking light
stem.
of death is what they're calling that now. That some people have encountered where they go
Where
to
they've had
power up the
problems with
system
it? Yeah.
and it's
And
just
it still
blinking
keeps
blue.
Blinking blue, yeah.
it turns yellow when it's in standby mode.
Okay.
Which means it's like a quick power on.
Yeah,
Kind of like how the Wii was.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought we were talking about the controller, not the system.
No,
No, the system.
Oh.
Yeah, that does look really cool.
Yeah, and then
And then red is like
white.
oh shit. No.
Yeah, I haven't read yet,
No,
but and
I'm
then white when it's on and you're playing it or something like that. So that's very nice. Controller design, I think I'm gonna really dig it for the most part.
Obviously,
I'll
you have
get
an
used to the
adjustment
option.
period.
Yeah. I really want to see a game that touchpad works a lot better than I thought it would have actually.
What have
Especially
you
after
played
the
with it?
Ouya. Oh,
It's just
Essentially, I've just been using it for again, it's not even things it's really designed for, but it's bringing up the map in Assassin's Creed. That's how you do it. It's almost instant too. It's so quick when it does it. And it's weird when you do it in Madden. It brings up a bunch of different menus, and then it's like it had a simple loading period for Madden. I hated Madden, but it's like instant pause mode. Almost.
I know it's completely off topic, but it's not. They did do a review of the Vita, the Vita TV with the DualShock 4.
Mhm.
You can actually do touch controls
That's
with,
nice.
with the
That's
with the
interesting.
touch. Yeah. So that
So,
that is confirmed.
I'm
That's
psyched to see a
cool.
game do it well, because I can definitely tell that it's not junk that touchpad. It's actually
It's not a gimmick like
no.
no offense, like the Wii U tablet.
Why do I take offense to that?
I pointed to Bryan.
I don't know if I'd call the tablet a gimmick. I think they're trying to replicate the DS
Yeah.
second screen.
They should have
But
just
not as well.
They should have just allowed you to use a DS. Anyways,
Well, I agree with you, but that's a whole other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other discussion.
The Wii U is such a mess.
I do want to address one other thing.
I own one.
I
I can
forgot.
talk
I
shit.
forgot.
I
I think it was.
paid money.
I think it was Metro Android last week. Commented.
Andrew Dillon,
And it was Andrew Dillon. How he thought it was funny that we don't acknowledge the Wii as next gen.
I did read that, and I thought I was
Bro,
like coming
yeah.
up something. And I was
Bro,
like,
it's really not.
It
It's hard.
has
It is a
some-
namesake alone.
It has some features of the next gen. You can interrupt play and go to the web browser or the Miiverse and a few other things like you can on a
Yeah, but
Vita.
it freaks out every time you try to do it.
I haven't had that problem with it.
No, like there's very minimal things you can pause the game
Yeah,
and
yeah,
go
yeah,
do.
yeah. No, yeah. You're very limited.
Everything else, are you sure? Because this is going to close the game. Are you sure? You're going to lose
Yeah.
all progress.
Yeah, it's like
Just screaming at
It's like
Tony.
because this is the 8th generation, the PS4, right? Is 8th generation?
Yeah.
yeah,
So the Wii U is kind of 7.5.
that's
Just
kind
like
of
just like the
That's
Wii
how we
was
hung.
6.5.
That's how
I
we held the
consider it as a
Wii.
transition.
6.5.
Yeah, it's not it's more powerful than the Xbox 360 and the PS3 technically, but it's nowhere
Yeah,
near
but they
as
don't
powerful.
use any of the power because the
Yeah.
thing is not.
So I mean that's
Yeah.
That's,
it does
that's
not
where,
do anything.
This is with the launch of this. This is the true start of the. Just like in my opinion,
It's got like last year's graphics card in
going
it.
going back.
What the hell is a Wii you have?
When
I don't know what it is.
you
I
had
don't know.
just like before the staggered launches where the PlayStation 2 came out first, and then you had the Xbox and the GameCube. I didn't count the start of the generation with the PlayStation 2, not because anything to do with the hardware, but everyone's got to have their systems.
Well, the
out to really,
Dreamcast
yeah.
is the really
But I mean, that's
first.
where
So technically,
where I count it is when everyone's
next week is sort of
for
next gen.
well, obviously for
Yeah.
me next week is the start of it because I
Yeah, of
don't
course,
have
yeah,
one,
that
but
too.
like that for me that's where
But
that
all
line
three would have out their three.
is has their
consoles.
it's like just because you come out a month early or a year early, that's not to me that's not the start of the new generation.
Well,
For
we
me-
won't see the games that really showcase the power of the next generation for a year or more.
Yeah.
For me, I do consider the Wii U next gen. I just like giving it a lot of shit because it
it's
deserves
kind of what we do here.
because
Kinda
it deserves it. But yeah, it is next gen, dude.
Hell, if Sony or Microsoft f's up so much, I'm gladly to throw them under the bus as well.
Well,
I
I
make
mean, the
I
Wii
make
has-
I make fun of everybody. I always rip on PlayStation's fucking store and their network and all this other crap, and I make fun of Xbox with the Connect. I'm gonna make fun of Nintendo too when they deserve it. The Wii U's a joke. I own one. Thing's a joke.
It does do the second screen thing without having to buy a separate piece of hardware.
Also, what the hell, PS4?
Vita, but-
Confirmed day one launch. War Thunder? Where the fuck is it on PSN? Ain't there. Also, with along that, what was the other game that you brought up? You brought up another game
DC
that's supposed to be...
Universe?
No,
DC Universe Warframe,
you were-
what else?
The Drive Club, but that was delayed.
no, I know that was the... You came up with another game
Some
that was supposed to be day one. It is not on
Minecraft.
that store.
Minecraft
Was supposed to be day one. It is not on that store.
Yeah.
Tony, your final thoughts on? I'm sorry. So, do you regret it? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Where do you stand?
Thumbs up. I'm happy with it. It just, the 3 days in blues.
I already know what Tony's is because Tony's gonna go for that. It's an 8-year investment, and it is. But I'm talking about right now. Do you have buyer's remorse?
No.
That's okay.
Not even a little bit. I love this thing. I wasn't actually going to go into that stuff. I was actually going to go into what I said 2 weeks ago that I'm not worried about any of this because I anticipated this. I made I think Xbox is going to have a bunch of similar things or whatever. You know what I mean? And I think PS4's launch went relatively smooth. There was that day or two where everybody's having problems. Nobody's having problems anymore. Like we said, it's been out 72 hours. They fixed it in less than 50. That's it. Everything's smooth now. You're getting games. The internet's launching right up. Everything's fine, at least for me.
I was still having trouble last night with Battlefield on EA servers. And I know there was that thing where EA was blaming Sony saying, no, it's not really...
When I look at stuff like that, I mean, you've got to give it at least a month. Look at GTA.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm saying. They fixed it in 2 days. Mm-hmm. Stuff works well for me now. I mean, I don't know about... I can't speak on behalf of every PS4 in the entire world. Mine's great. That first day, I had some issues. I was getting error codes and whatever and blah, blah, blah.
Because I picked you out a good one.
Mm-hmm.
The one you didn't drop off the truck.
Then they sorted it all out, and that was it. I haven't had an issue since.
He texted me. Did you really set one off to the side for me that fell off the truck?
I do have one thing I just remembered that the PS4 is lacking, and that's support for the PS3 remote.
Mm-hmm. Said it's going to have limited functionality.
Well, I have the Logitech Bluetooth adapter that acts like the PS3 remote, so you can use it as a media player without having to just using the Harmony remote. I can't use that, which would be really nice for Netflix and DVDs and stuff like that.
You know who's got a Harmony remote and doesn't need an adapter?
Yeah, because the Xbox has infrared on it.
Self high five.
But yeah, the PS4 is awesome. I enjoyed it. I didn't buy into the bad games like Knack or Madden.
Man,
I knew those were going to suck from the beginning, so I didn't waste money on them, so I'm not disappointed with anything.
It's alright, I'll see you tomorrow, for no specific reason.
No, the games I've played so far I'm really enjoying. I hope Contrast doesn't suck, because I was actually looking really forward to that, but I haven't played it yet. I could deal with an issue or two if they do something really creatively that's cool.
The puzzles are light-based and it is really cool. The puzzle stuff is cool.
Just platforming and everything sucks, from what I hear.
No. The puzzles are platforming, and it's all about arranging shadows, moving light sources and stuff like that to create shadows to climb on.
You know what's funny? I know the exact guy they probably talked to when the ideas were coming up for that. But I'll explain it.
It sounds like Closure, the game that came out on PlayStation Plus. I
was going with Shadow Physics, the game that has never come out yet, but showed off to everyone.
So I hope Contrast is cool. I'm going to play that in a week or so. And besides that, I'm really enjoying it. I've been saying that for months too. Like what Jason kind of made me think about it now. Like I'm not even worried because none of the shit that I want was even announced.
If you're set, I got one last thing that I want to do. I want to go down the line, and I'll start with Bryan. I'm going to ask, what game are you looking forward to?
Announced or unannounced?
Announced, like that you have that's coming out that you're looking forward to.
I don't know. I mean, I would say Watch Dogs, but I think The Order might be one I'm looking forward to more than Watch Dogs, or Infamous Second Son.
Okay. Mark?
Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs?
Yeah, because it's going to take over my GTA fix.
This is going to be the hard one.
Yeah, but for him.
Me?
Yeah.
It's Uncharted.
No. That's like coming within this launch window, like that you can pre-order now.
Oh. Shit, and I got
you only have about 6 or 7 games.
That's
really.
where I got you.
You got like Infamous, Watch Dogs.
That's out, like available, or
you can't even see. Well, you can't even see the order then, because the order is gonna be probably next holiday.
You can pre-order it.
Yeah, I guess.
The Order.
Okay.
That one is the only one that I need gameplay of.
That thing's totally up my alley. I could tell you right here and now.
Who's developing The Order? I can't remember.
I think it's Bethesda, isn't it? I don't know. I don't care.
Recall.
I don't give a fuck
is.
who's making it.
Okay.
We'll go with yes.
That thing looks like the shit, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Well, thank you for letting me hijack your topic.
No problem,
of the week.
sir. No problem. Enjoy anytime.
I'm gonna enjoy it next week.
I'm gonna take it and just part the
never
pate.
let it go.
Yeah, spit
part
on
those
it.
C's.
All right, this has been episode 93, part 2. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch us next week, same time, same place.
Jason made me wait 48 minutes before I could talk about the damn thing.